welcome to the Reluctant Sisters podcast. I'm Adrienne. I'm the Reluctant Knitter. If you are new, then this probably isn't weird at all for you. And if you are a returning viewer and you've been watching for a while, then it's been a long time since I've seen you. It's been about a year since I've podcasted. So this is my Rhinebeck recap episode. I just went to Rhinebeck with my sister Sarah, who is the Reluctant Podcaster. She's been keeping up with the podcast and doing a really great job. So I'm really excited to share everything that I've been able to get with you. I'll just do like a little overview, I guess. It's really weird for me because I've never podcasted alone, so I hope I'm not too boring for you guys. So we started the podcast a while ago. Things have been we're kind of like scheduling wise a little bit difficult. So I quit the band. I quit the podcast about a year ago, and just kind of been knitting and just working and doing all kinds of other things, being really busy. Sarah and my sister Amy, who joined the podcast later, it was Sarah and I first, then Amy joined, then I left, and then Sarah's been doing it alone for a little while. So I would really like to start podcasting again. I really enjoyed it. It's kind of hard for us to kind of get all of our schedules together. So it's possible that, Sarah's going to do her own Rhinebeck recap episode, which will be probably way more exciting than mine because she got lots of good stuff. And then maybe we'll do some of our own podcasts, and then hopefully every month maybe or 6 weeks we will be able to all get together and do a podcast together. So then Amy might do some of her own podcasts. We might do some me and Amy and Sarah, me and Sarah. So I guess we'll see how it goes. But after going to Rhinebeck and meeting everybody that I've met, I really missed it, and so I want to start doing it again. So here I am, kicking off my comeback with the Rhinebeck recap. So where you can find me, we have a Ravelry group, the Reluctant Sisters podcast group. That's where you'll find show notes. Well, I do show notes, but you'll find the episode thread. So if you have any questions about anything that happens in the episode, and there's some cows going on, and we sometimes have giveaways and things. So make sure to join that because that's really fun. I am on Ravelry as Reluctant Knitter with no E in the knitter, and I'm on Instagram as the Reluctant Knitter. So please follow me and subscribe to the podcast if you like it. And so kind of let's get going. I would like to do kind of like a regular podcast with some whips and FOs and things like that, but I just don't think I'm going to have time, and then I didn't grab any of them. So we're just going to go right into Rhinebeck. So Sarah and I met up on Friday afternoon, and we drove up, checked into our hotel. We were staying in Kingston, and we went straight away to India Untangled, which was the most insane thing I think I've ever been to in my whole life. It was so crazy busy, like crazy busy. It was hot, and everyone was sweating, and you couldn't get into any of the booths, and like it opened, I guess, so there were some pre-entry tickets that you could buy for $10, which I didn't know about and we didn't do, which is fine. But like by the time we got in there, which I think was only an hour later, there was like hardly any Woolen Vine left, like everything. It was crazy in there, but it was super fun. And I made my first purchases there. Well, I only made one purchase, so I will get into that. All of my swag, by the way, all of my Rhinebeck stuff fit into one bag. How good was I? I was super good. And this bag was given to me by the Woolly Thistle, the Woolly Thistle, fine British yarn at thewoollythistle.com. So it was kind of like everyone had stuff to give away. If you went to Rhinebeck, you would know. Or if you didn't get to go to Rhinebeck, you're probably watching the Rhinebeck recap, and you'll see all of the stuff that everybody traded. So I'll have some of that as well. So I'm really proud of myself that everything fit into one bag. Super cool. So anyway, back to India Untangled. I purchased for myself, well, it's not for me, it's for socks for somebody else, but the white birch fiber arts. And this is in White Walker. So this is self-striping yarn. It's going to be stripes of grays and blues and white, which I'm really excited about. And this is actually for a friend of mine. I'm going to make socks for her. She watches my dog all the time. She's such a good dog sitter. So I feel like I have to make something for her. I don't have to, I want to. And so I picked this up for her. This was one of 3 things on my list to get at Rhinebeck, and I only got 1 thing on my list. But anyway, this is one of the things on my list, so I'm glad I got it. It's going to be really good. And when I checked out, the guy at the checkout was like, oh, do you like, I don't even remember now what this is. What is White Walker? Not Outlander, what's the other one? I'm really bad. I'm sorry. I'll have to put it in the bottom. And you guys are probably screaming at the computer like whatever the show is. It's escaping me, which I don't watch, so that's why it's escaping me. And I was like, no, why? And he's like, oh, all the yarns are named after the characters. I'm like, that was totally lost on me. So anyway, this is the only thing I purchased at Indie Untangle. We were not there for very long, which is good because I think I was probably like, I wouldn't say I was illegally parked, but I probably wasn't totally legally parked. So we didn't spend much time there. We met up with my sister's friend, who's my friend too, but I don't see her as much as they're obviously better friends. Mina from the Knitting Expat podcast. We met up with her. We saw the Cozy Knitter podcast, Three Sisters podcast, I think. I've never seen it before, but they were there. They were all going out to eat. So we kind of skedaddled out of there and then went to get dinner. So anyway, which long story short, we didn't end up eating dinner with them, but that's besides the point. So that's all I got. And then Sarah left me and came back to me and showed me this. And she was like, oh, look at this. They had some of this left. This is La Bien-Aimée. La Bien-Aimée. And this is the Automne Rhinebeck colorway. So this is specifically for Rhinebeck. And she was like, look at this. Isn't this so pretty? And I'm like, oh, it's so pretty. And she's like, this is for you. And I'm like, it is. So Sarah left me and returned with a present. I'm sure she'll tell the story on her episode, but she saw somebody with them and she goes, oh, you were good, and did you pre-order? And they were like, no, we didn't pre-order. They have a bunch over there. And she was like, so she went to go get it. And she was so thoughtful. And I think she got one for our third sister, Amy. So that was very cool. So that's another thing I got. And it's so beautiful. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but I love it. So we ended up and we went to go get dinner. Took it back to the hotel, hung out a little bit, knit a little bit, talked a little bit, went to bed. Woke up bright and early, got ready, drove to Rhinebeck, stood in it was pretty cold. But we were thoroughly entertained because we were standing next to this really lovely woman and her baby who was so cute. Just over a year, I think he was. Now I don't remember how old he was exactly, but you know, he was so cute, and he was like in the little carrier, and she was like, oh, I think we had asked her, she wanted us to hold her place in line to go get her carriage, but she said no, her friend is actually waiting for her, or was going to be helping her or whatever, and her friend turned out to be Christy Glass. So that was pretty cool. We didn't like officially like meet her, like, hi, how are you? My name is Adrienne, but it was cool. I saw her. So anyway, so we waited in line, we got right in, we went into the very first booth in the very first barn, and Sarah saw roving and bought some. So anyway, but that was a very fun day. So I had a big day of purchases on Saturday. Huge. I bought a total of 3 things. So anyway, I think I was just like kind of taking it all in. I didn't really know. It was, you know, and I did have those 3 things on my list, which I wanted to get interchangeable needles, and I wanted to get buttons. And I did see interchangeable needles, but they only had like the 5-inch needle, which Sarah told me that you can't get a 16-inch circular needle out of 5-inch. You'd have to get the 4-inch, and they didn't have any. So I was like, whatever, it's fine. I've gone this long without them. I have tons of needles anyway, so whatever, that's fine. And then it's buttons for a baby sweater I needed, so I didn't really find anything. And then my local yarn shop in Madison, I think I said I'm from Connecticut, doesn't matter. In Madison, Connecticut, they sell Critrinkles, so I think I'm just gonna go there and get Critrinkles. But anyway, so that's why I didn't buy very much, because I think I was like still looking and like didn't, you know. Anyways, the first thing I bought was this lavender sachet, and I I'm really bad. I didn't take a card. I didn't, and you know why? Because I was going to give this to a friend. It smells so, so good. It's very, very powerful. I was going to give it to my friend because she said she had moths. She's not a non-knitter, but anyway, she said she had moths. And then it turns out she actually already got some lavender oil, and she put it on one of those old, older, whatever, an old cardboard car freshener thing, hangy things. And she said that she has no more moths. So I'm going to keep it for myself because I have a lot of knits and I don't want to, because I was thinking I should have bought something for myself. And then the next day on Sunday, we went to this other place, but then you can only get the bag 4 ounces and I didn't want that much. And well, it doesn't matter. I'm keeping it for myself. So I didn't even think to get a card or anything. I have no idea. I have no idea who made this. Sorry, but that's what I got. The second thing I got was a bag of dog treats. So the Laughing Paw Farm was there with dog treats, and it says it's all like organic and really delicious stuff. I would actually go get the dog treats, but my dog is sleeping on the couch, so I don't want to go get them and have her wake up and then be in my business. So but anyway, this is the card. It is laughingpawfarm.com, and I got the PB Wheatie. So it's a classic combination of whole wheat and smooth, creamy peanut butter with just a hint of vanilla and cinnamon. It has 6 ingredients. Organic whole wheat flour, organic peanut butter, which is just peanuts, water, free-range eggs, organic vanilla, and organic cinnamon. So I said, you should actually have samples. I wish I could try one. And she was like, oh, we do have samples. So I tried one. And it's good. I mean, it's a dog treat, so it's not like a delicious biscuit, but but it was good. So anyway, I hope you guys try your dog. I mean, I don't try like the milk bones and stuff that I get, like the big box, but if I'm getting like something like marketed to be organic and all this stuff, I have no problem trying it. I wanna know what it tastes like. So maybe I'm weird, maybe I'm not, I don't know. And then the last thing I got on Saturday was Into the World. I got the, I don't know, Pakoku sock. I'm probably saying this wrong, but anyway, it's a 4-ply 75/25 merino nylon. And it's the cat's pajamas. So I really love this. This is complete impulse buy. I wouldn't say impulse, but yeah, kind of impulse. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. But I really, really love it. So that was fun. And then Sarah went to Miss Babs and we stood in line for half an hour, which was totally an experience to be had. Like, I'm not going to go all the way to Rhinebeck and not stand in Miss Babs' line. So we did that. We also waited for the falafel, Abba's falafel, which when we first walked by at lunchtime, the line was really long, which we've all heard stories. We've heard stories about Rhinebeck. This was our first time going, so we'd heard all of everyone's recap. The falafel line is super long, but it's really, really good, like all kinds of stuff. So anyway, sorry for shaking the camera, I just moved, but anyway, so the line was really long, so we just ended up getting something else, which was delicious. We got fried clams, whole belly clams, which were good. We're from New England, so we know good whole belly clams, and these were good. But then we were leaving, we were on our way out to go back to the car, and I looked and I said, oh, Sarah, there's no line at the falafel place. And she literally was like walking straight ahead, and she went like this and like turned and walked to the falafel. So we get up there, it turns out there was nobody in line because they were making more falafel, and they said it'd be about a 15-minute wait. So we're like, yeah, sure, we'll wait, whatever, what's another 15 minutes in another line? So we waited. This was, which I'm sure you've heard, the best falafel I've ever had, ever. And it wasn't so much like the falafel itself that's very good. It's fine. It's good falafel, but it's like not earth-shattering or anything. The tahini sauce was divine. The pita was incredible. They put like this, I don't know, Middle Eastern salsa on it or something. It's like chopped up tomatoes. So good. Onion. Oh, It was so good. So we ate it walking out to the car, which was really, really good. Oh, and then we left early. We left about an hour early before closing so that we would avoid traffic. And we got stuck in a ton of traffic. So that was no fun. But we were on our way to Jill Draper. And she had like a little, I don't know, trunk show thing. And Farmer's Daughter? I'm not really sure. Sarah wanted to go, so we went. And they had food, which was actually good food. I had some wine. I was like so tired. I'm like, give me some wine, give me some food, give me some cheese, give me something. And that was really good. And Sarah ended up buying something, so that was good. And then we went back to the hotel and rearranged all of our stuff, put it in new bags, and went to sleep. So the next day, it was on like Donkey Kong. I had decided I was not going to buy my interchangeable needles. I didn't care about the buttons. I don't know if you heard that, but my dog was just groaning. But anyway, I said, let me spend the money that I brought to spend. Oh, I forgot. On Saturday, never mind. Going back to Saturday, Podcasters Meetup. So we did the Podcasters Meetup on the Hill, which was super, super fun. So I have like a whole list of people that's going to be in my show notes on who I met. But we actually met, so we met Marsha from the Very Little podcast, or she's Very Little on Ravelry, and I think she has Very Little podcast, yes, which I watched, which is really good. New to me, I really like her. We actually met her on Friday night at Indie Untangled, but then we like had like a really long conversation with her on Saturday, which was really nice. She's really, really nice. Before the podcasters meetup, like in the middle of the day, we met Debbie and Amy from the Periscoping Sisters. So they were so nice. They actually like recognized us. I mean, so here's the thing, is that Sarah and I get all the time, no matter where we go, knitting, non-knitting, we get, you look familiar. I feel like I know you. You look very familiar. I don't know if we like have a familiar face or I don't know what. So when people say like I met Amy was like talking to someone else but facing me, and I was like, oh my God, I know you. You don't know me, but I know you. I love you. And she was like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. You look really familiar. And I'm like, you don't know me. Like, I totally wish you knew me, and I totally wish we were like besties, but you don't know me. And I said, well, we had like a podcast for like a little bit. My sister does it, the Reluctant Sisters podcast. My sister keeps up with it and everything. She's like, oh yeah, I've seen it. And I was like, what? That's crazy. So she was so sweet. I love her so much. So we just chatted a little bit on Debbie too. I love Debbie. Don't get me wrong. I do. I love them both equally. So we chatted for a little bit. And then at the podcasters meetups, we met like, oh my goodness, I can't even tell you how many people we met. So we met Kim from Chasing Acorns podcast. She also has an Etsy shop. We met Andrea, the cat lady. And what's her name? Jen from Storm Coast podcast. We actually met them in one of the barns, but that was cool. We met Amanda from Classy Squid Fiber Company. Sarah has purchased lots of things. I don't know how much, but she's been purchasing from her for a while. So I guess she had messaged Sarah and said, oh, I'm doing like another meetup at 2 in the same place, so come by and say hi. So we met her, which was really cool. Barbara from Flame and Fiber. We actually met her in one of the barns too, and then saw her again on the hill. Connie from Chili Knits. She's so nice. Helen and Mary Beth. Oh, that was on Sunday. But anyway, my sister Amy talks with them, I don't know how frequently, but Helen and Mary Beth from the Crafty Toads podcast. So I actually saw them on Sunday. They recognized me, which I'm not surprised because they, been watching the podcast or whatever, recognized me and, said, oh, hey. And so that was on Sunday. Julie from Sweet Sparrow Knits on Ravelry, which she's Sweet Sparrow Knits on Ravelry, and she also has a podcast, Sweet Sparrow Knits podcast. She's very nice, new to me podcast. She's really, I like her, I've been watching like since I got back from Rhinebeck to check up on these people, see if I actually like them. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, her podcast is fun. I like her. And then we saw Chelsea and Sue from Legacy Knits podcast. We actually met them a while ago, last year, at the Connecticut Sheep and Wool. we didn't know them before that. We just had seen their podcasts and then recognized them and went up to them and said hi. So Sue actually recognized us, which was really nice. We were like waiting just for a moment to, say hi to her, and she like stopped. She was talking to somebody and she was like, "I'm so sorry, I just have to go give them a hug." So that was so sweet, and it was good to see. We didn't get to talk to Chelsea. She was like, everyone wants to see the belly and talk to her. But we did hug Sue, which was awesome. And then I met Jacqueline. I didn't meet her. That's not true. I saw her, Jacqueline Salem from Brooklyn Knit Folk podcast. I really love her podcast, and I've been watching it for a little while now. Because some of these people, some of these people I knew had podcasts, but I hadn't watched. Some of these people that I met, I didn't even know they had a podcast. I just met them, so that was cool. But Jacqueline Salem, I've been watching for a little while, and she's friends with Mina as well, from Knitting Expat. And I really love her, like really, really love her. And so I was talking to Vicky from Sweet Leaps podcast, because we follow each other on Instagram, so we're kind of, know each other, I guess, whatever, as much as you know people that you follow on Instagram. So I saw her, and we were walking to this weird show, the Sheeple show, which I don't even want to talk about the Sheeple because it was super, super weird. And I'm sure all the other people who are doing Rhinebeck recap episodes are going to talk about the Sheeple people. So I don't really want to talk about them because they were weird. But anyway, we're walking there and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's Jacqueline from Brooklyn Knit Folk. I love her." And Vicky was like, "Oh, let's go. Drive by selfies." So we like ran up, took a selfie, and then left. So I can't say that I really met her, but I saw her in real life anyway. And I love her, and I have photographic evidence that we were in the same place. So that was cool. So after all of that diversion that I just went on, that rant that I went on about all the people that I met on Saturday, I do have a bag of things that we all traded. So I will go back through them. And then I'm putting all of their podcasts and everything on my show notes. So Sunday, going back. Sunday was on Lake Donkey Kong. I was super ready to spend some money. So Sarah had bought the Miss Babs, like the gigantic skein of yarn. It's like a sweater's worth skein of yarn, which you'll see on her episode, on Saturday. So since I knew I had this money, I said, "Listen, this is one thing that I do want to do. I want to go back and get a sweater's quantity of Miss Babs because it was a good price, and it's all in one skein, so that's awesome." So we waited in line again. It's much less busy on Sunday. Everything you've heard is true about it being less busy. So we waited on that side, on that entrance where it was like just a beeline to Miss Babs. And when we got there, it was already crazy. So I picked up this Miss Babs. It is Katadyn fingering yarn. I'll show the price. I don't even care. $76. It is 1,750 yards, so 1,600 meters, approximately 400 grams of fingering weight. This is in the New Frontier, and this is a Wild Iris colorway, so that's pretty cool. Non-repeatable, which is neat. Go like this. There were so many pretty colors, and I couldn't really decide. They had navy, which I love navy, but I have a ton of navy. But I love navy, so it's like, what do? I don't have any navy sweaters, and I know I love navy, but do I want to do something a little bit different? I was looking at another one that was like kind of like a dark aqua blue, I guess. I was looking at, I think they had like a red there, a lighter blue, all kinds of stuff. But I ended up going with the green because my husband really likes green. It's his favorite color. So I figured if I'm going to spend all this money and spend all this time knitting something, maybe he won't give me such a hard time if he likes the color. Anyway, so Sarah, I don't think Sarah got anything else on Sunday, but she said that she would stand in line for me. It was not a long line by any means, not even close to being as long as it was on Saturday when we stayed in it. And when we stood in line on Saturday, that wasn't even the longest it had gotten. So, but she said she'd stand in line for me because I wanted to go back to Into the World and see what else they had. So she stood in line. I went to Into the World, and I picked up the same exact color that I normally did. Well, that I did on Saturday. So I'm like, wouldn't it be funny? Because I'm like, oh, I love this color. And I was talking to some stranger. And I was like, wouldn't it be funny if I got the same skein of yarn by accident? And I looked at the name and I'm like, I really feel like I got the same skein of yarn. So I put it back and I picked this one up. And I'm like, this will go with my green. So I could do some color work maybe or something. Or I could just do something else with it. But I'm like, this is like a good broaden my options. So this is it's the same sock weight yarn, 75-25 in Always Greener. I should probably say what the fiber content of this is. 100% superwashed BFL. So that's cool. So I got this. My lighting is not super great, so I hope it's coming out okay. Shades of green and gray and white. So I think that'll be really cool to do something together. I'm pretty excited. So now I've been like looking all the time on Ravelry for sweaters. I think I don't know if I'm going to do breathing space, but that's an option. There's another stripy one that's an option. So we'll see. Because I only got one skein of this, so it's not like I can do a ton of stuff with it, but I'm bound to do something. Then, right before I was on my way to Into the World, and I stopped and saw this. It caught my eye. So this is a Notions pouch. Isn't it the cutest thing? Look at it sparkle. This is Andy Smith Designs, cooperativepress.com. Knitting, crochet, classes, videos, bags. And I was walking by and I was not in the market for it. Well, I mean, are you really in the market for anything when you go to Rhinebeck? You know you're going to be getting some stuff. So, I caught my eye and I'm like, this is the cutest thing. And I actually really have been wanting a larger Notions pouch. I have this one, which I just stuck in here. This is stitched by Jessa Lou. And it's so cute, but it just doesn't fit. Like once you put your scissors and all this stuff in it, it doesn't fit anymore. So I was like, I really should probably get a bigger Notions pouch. So I did. And I love it. It's so cute. So then I went to Into the World, got that thing. Then I said, we need some Rhinebeck swag. I mean, we came all the way to Rhinebeck. Let's get some Rhinebeck swag. So we found the tent. I'm going all out of order. I know we did this after, but I don't know what we did in between. It's all a whirlwind. So I got an eco bag. It's a drawstring bag, and it just has the 2017 New York Sheep and Wool Festival thing on it. Established 1980. So that's cool. I can use it for a project. I can use it for whatever. And then I got a pen. Who doesn't need pens? Actually, I don't think I showed my husband that I got a pen. I don't think I showed my husband anything that I bought. Maybe I did, but I always yell at him because he goes to he works for a pharmaceutical company and he will go to trade shows and stuff, and he always brings home handfuls and handfuls of pens, and I'm like, enough already with the pens. Okay, we have a huge drawer full of pens, enough. But it's paper. This pen is paper, and it's from Rhinebeck, so it's really cute. It's got it's almost like vintagey kind of writing. So it's a pen. Oh, well, it's a highlighter too. Spoiler alert, it's also a highlighter. I was going to do the pen part first. And a highlighter. So I like that. I'll probably never use it because I have a billion pens. Anyway, and then on Saturday we had passed by this chapstick and lotion kind of place. And I was like, I have a million chapsticks. I'm kind of obsessed with chapsticks, so enough already. I had to cut myself off. Well, the chapstick gods were crazy. My lips were so chapped and I had no chapstick with me. So I was like, oh, we have to find the chapstick place. So Sarah went to get a seat at Leaping Llamas, which was crazy, by the way, but so much fun. Anyway, Leaping Llamas, and she was like, it's in one of these barns. It's all the way at the end. It's by the Felted Pumpkins. Well, don't you know, I walked every barn up and down. Could not find it. So I went back to the thing. I'm like, I can't find it. We'll have to look for it after because I really need to see Leaping Llamas. So we sat and watched Leaping Llamas with Mina. So much fun. But let me tell you, people were getting really heated about leaping llamas. Like, I don't know what the deal was, but everyone was on edge. Some lady was like, got in a fight with some other lady in front of us about her kid standing in front of her. It was like crazy. Some lady turned around and told Mina to stop talking because she couldn't hear the lady. It was crazy. Why is like leaping llamas like, I mean, I know it's a big deal, but come on. But anyway, it was fun. And yeah. So, and I posted a couple videos. I did live videos, which, not live, story videos, which I never ever do, which I don't know. I'm like on the fence because it's like cool because you can post a bunch of videos and not clog up your feed. But then if you don't save them, then you don't have them. So anyway, but then I also posted, I think, a couple of videos or a video on my Instagram, regular video. But anyway, so after leaping llamas, Mina was so kind to walk around with us to try to find this place. I found it. So this is, I don't know if it's Ithaca soap or lipstick. I don't know which one is which, but the website is lipstick.com. Oh no, ithacasoap.com. So I guess whatever. Anyway, that's what it looks like. I got... my lips were so chapped that my lip actually like split. So then when we got there, I'm like, we've been looking for you forever. And the girl said something about needing it. And I'm like, I did need it. My lip split. And she's like, oh my God, your lip did split. I don't know if it was like, it's open air. So I don't know if it's like all the fiber. I don't know if it's like just really dry up in New York. I have no idea, but they were really bad. So I got the clove spice one. It is organic coconut and sunflower oil, beeswax, and essential oil. So nothing crazy in it, which is cool. It smells good. I wish it was a little bit smellier. It's not that I want like a ton of smelly, but I feel like I like the clove scent, but it goes away really quickly. But it did the job. So anyway, and then I also got the calendula stick, lavender mint, and I really like this because it's not greasy. Some of them are sticky or greasy. Some of the lotion bars are like greasy or sticky or whatever. I didn't feel like it was. And then also I like the lavender and the calendula because I do have eczema, so that really kind of soaks really good into it and makes it feel better. So I think those are all. I didn't get any water. This is like, my throat is dry. That's all I got. And it all fit into this bag, so that's really cool. Okay, so let's talk about what we traded. So I brought some minis. I figured that there would be some people who are giving cards out or doing little trades and stuff. And I didn't really plan that well for it. I didn't, whatever. I'd never been there before. So I was like, well, I have this bag of minis, of leftover minis from all of these other projects. So I'll just bring them. And if people don't want them, they don't want them. That's fine. Everybody was so excited. I was like, I only have minis. I'll take a mini. I love minis. And it was really cool because people were like, oh, I love orange, or oh, I love whatever. So that was fun. I'm glad. And I got rid of some minis. So that was cool. So I have my little stack. And some of this is like samples that I got from Yarn Places too. So it's not all stuff that I got from people. But Sarah, my sister, made these. She's so much better than me. Made these little notions pouches. I'm sure, I don't know if you'll see them on any other of the podcasters will show them, but I think the cat lady showed it actually. And Sarah might show it on her episode, but anyway, it's a little notions pouch, but you can also, it like opens all the way up. I don't know why you would need to do this, but it opens all the way up. So that's pretty cool. I got the acorn one, so that was fun. And I think I got first pick, so I got mine on Friday. So that's from my sister Sarah. And then I got, I'm just gonna grab bag it up. So Chili Knits, Connie from Chili Knits, she was giving out these pins that have Kitchener stitch on it. I don't know if you can see it. Whatever. How cool is that? I mean, I know how to Kitchener stitch, but what if I forget and then I have it? I saw these really cool bangles, like thick bangles, and one of them had Kitchener stitch bangles. So adorable. Anyway, and then she gave me a little sample. So I have a bunch of little samples, so I'm really excited to put these in my blanket. She's such a doll. I really liked her a lot. She was really, really nice. And then Classy Squid Fiber Company was giving out stickers. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure out where to put this so I can see it all the time, because I don't wanna put it away and not see it. My thing is going crazy. And then she was giving out little samples. You probably really can't see it. It's like bluish, blackish kind of stuff. This is, I don't know, Corriedale, I guess. I'm not a spinner. Alpaca, Tussa Silk, Angelina. I don't know what all of these things. The Raven King. I'm not a spinner. So none of that. Probably all of that was gibberish. I have no idea. Kim from Chasing Acorns. This is her little thing. And she was giving, how cute is this? She was giving these little things out. They were in her bag, and she said, pick one. And they were sealed up, pick one, and if you get an acorn, you get a free bag. How adorable is that? I think there was only one acorn. So cute. Spoiler alert, I did not get the acorn, but I got a cute little, I called it a cat, and she's like, it's a fox. Sorry, it's a fox. Stitch marker. So cute. And then, oh, this is my Rhinebeck ticket. Proof I went to Rhinebeck. Sorry, I'm weird. The Cat Lady. This is her lovely card. She was giving out buttons as well. Everyone had buttons. Next year I'll have to make some buttons. Cat Lady. So not only do I have to find a place for my Classy Squid Fiber Company sticker, but I have to find a place for all my buttons. Periscoping Sisters. How cute is that? Love them. Very Little. Oh, Toad Hollow. How adorable. Look at this cute little Toad Hollow pin. I love it. And Sweet Sparrow. Cute. Very cute. What else did I get? And then I think, oh, this is so amazing. Flame and Fiber podcast, Barbara. So cool. She handmade these stitch markers and was giving them out. I mean, and I just had lame-o minis. It's like a little glass flower. I love it. She seemed pretty excited for my minis, so that's pretty cool. But, I mean, I didn't hand make them. This is so cute. Okay, and then when I went to Miss Babs, I got a stitch marker from Miss Babs. They had like just business cards with stuff on them. So the first day I got, I don't know if it was this one's first, doesn't matter. Garden Party. This is in Caroline fingering weight. 70, 20, 10. And then this was in the 100% BFL. Catadin. I don't know how to say that. Am I saying that right? Bewitching. So that's cool. And then on the last day, we were just bebopping around before we had to leave, and I saw Cozy Color Works. I think they used to be called something else, but I don't know what it is. But any Cozy Color Works. This is I think it's probably 100% Superwash Merino Dye Magic. Just watch. So anyway, then we drove home and we were super tired. So I had a great time at my first ever Rhinebeck. I cannot wait to go back again. I hope you guys liked seeing my crazy podcast. I'm telling you, I never podcasted alone, so I hope it was okay. And then so afterwards I watched some podcasts. So I watched Chelsea from Connie from Chili Knits podcast. Marsha, Fairy Little podcast. I watched hers. She's doing like Vlogtober now, so that's cool. I watched the Cat Lady podcast. I really like her. Andrea, the Cat Lady. I really liked her podcast. I mean, I liked them all, so, but anyway. I watched hers. I think she might have been the first one that I watched because she was really quick about, other than Mina. Mina was super quick getting up her Rhinebeck episode, but the Cat Lady was really quick. Andrea was really quick about getting hers up, so I watched that. Sweet Sparrow Knits I watched, and Storm Coast. I said Jen Storm Coast. Her podcast is, she's Storm Coast on Ravelry, but her podcast is The Uncreative Crafter, which I love. I love that name. And I watched her Rhinebeck recap episode and I really enjoyed it. So anyway, I guess that's it. I hope it's not too long before I podcast again, an actual podcast with whips and FOs and all kinds of that stuff. So anyway, I hope it wasn't too torturous to watch. Ooh, I don't do this by myself. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys again. Bye.